Okay, so Teresa is sharing here. Notice a tingling at my lips and tongue and teeth soon after meditation has started. What is that? Interesting. Yeah, so you could say that this is a subtle, refined Kriya. As we know, Kriya is spontaneous movements. Sometimes they're obvious, jerks and flails of the arms or the legs or the head or the neck. Over time, in some cases, those sort of very obvious movements begin to become more and more refined, more and more subtle, sometimes more and more graceful, you could say, more and more precise. And at certain points, it becomes very subtle to the point of just vibration. And then at some points, even more subtly, the vibration externally stops. So, the lips, the teeth, you may notice that they're vibrating. Eventually, that may even stop, and you just notice a flow of energy inside of yourself happening spontaneously. So that's the most refined form of, the Kriyas, could say. So when things like tingling happen, especially the lips, the teeth, the tongue, this may be associated with some Kriyas that happen within the face, within the head. Um, Virtually all of them have to do with uh, preparing for or drawing prana to be, uh, sorry, preparing for prana to be drawn upwards into the head, into the brain, to facilitate some of the more advanced stages of the process. So with the tongue, there's a series of specific mudras. Mudra translates to something like gesture. Um, so the tongue can engage in certain mudras. Kechari mudra is what you might like to look up, Kechari mudra. So the hands can make mudras, connecting the tips of the fingers together. The tongue can also connect to various areas in the mouth to serve similar energetic purposes. So perhaps leading up to that, you may be experiencing some vibration in the mouth. I'm going to spell it here in the chat, Kechari mudra. I may have spelled it wrong, but if you search that, it should come up. I had a series of really extreme, sophisticated, intense kriyas happening within my face for a period of a few days while I was on retreat. Stuff with the jaw, vibrations of the jaw, the teeth, the tongue, the cheekbones, kind of like scrunching my face up, eyebrows, furrowing, I think that's the word, eyebrows furrowing, eyes being drawn back and upwards, pressure in the ears, all sorts of weird things happening with the jaw opening, the tongue sticking out, all sorts of weird things are happening. I described it as face yoga, face yoga. So it sounds like you're experiencing some face yoga, spontaneous face yoga. It's a known thing. It's relatively speaking quite a good sign of an advanced process unfolding. So don't fight it. Allow it to unfold and let it do its thing. Nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. So I hope I gave you something to work with there, Teresa. Yeah, it's quite fascinating and fun. Exactly. Especially when you know that it's documented, it's known yogic stuff, and we get on board with it. If you've never heard about it, then you think, something's wrong with your face. So I hope that can help.
Hi, Brent. Hi, everybody. This has been great today. I've liked this. It's been really good. Hey, I have a question. So I was in meditation a couple days ago. This happened, and while I was in meditation, I felt my eyes kind of like roll back, like I was looking at the ceiling, but I was looking forward, right?
Hmm.
And then, and I don't know how long it was. I don't really pay attention to that. I just kind of, well, let's sit here and do this for a little bit because I just feel more clear once I meditate. I don't have a specific goal. My goal is to just do it. That's what I've been guided to do. So just do it every day. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what happens. No big deal. It's kind of like field trip. So, but a couple days ago, I was doing the meditation and my eyes rolled back, and I've had that happen before, but that at some point, like we were doing whatever downloads, just there was stuff going on, but I wasn't like I was there, but I wasn't there. And then at some point, my eyes rolled back down, and it was like I was I was experiencing this, but I wasn't doing it. It's like I was just kind of there, but not contributing to the movement.
Mhm.
And my eyes rolled back down and I could see my eyelashes, but it was like I was looking through my eyelashes, and my eyes did the best way I can see this was like a scanny thing. And they moved, they kind of rolled to the right, they rolled to the left, and then they rolled right back up. And I thought in the background, I was like, that was kind of cool. I don't know what that was, but that was kind of cool. I didn't even do it. So, what is that?
Yeah, very interesting. So, um, these are the spontaneous kriyas, the spontaneous yogic practices that are happening, guided by the intelligence within you, not by the mind, not by the ego, right? So, and they're serving a purpose. Exactly what, I can't say for sure, but I know that there are the eyes in particular. I believe there are two sort of more minor chakras, one for each of the eyes. The eyes also serve to direct prana into certain directions. So this is why sometimes when our eyes roll back, they turn towards the third eye. This helps to once again concentrate prana for the upward flow into the third eye, and of course even higher towards the crown. You can look up this mudra. It's called Shambhavi mudra. So we mentioned earlier about Kechari mudra with the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
The higher one beyond that, so within our system, it's higher, meaning it's with the eyes. So that's Shambhavi mudra. It's the eyes rolling back. You may also note that sometimes the eyebrows will furrow downwards as the eyes roll upwards, and this kind of just
Yes.
concentrates. You were experiencing that as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does that, and then sometimes I feel like I'm looking out at the top of my head. It feels like my eyes have rolled so far back. I'm like looking out the back of my head. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it goes right there, and then I feel like this real intense sensation in my forehead. And
Mhm.
then over the last couple of months more, and then once I started meditating, specifically doing it every day, 20 minutes every day, and I try to do it around the same time, I've started getting that tingling in my lips and my teeth and my tongue and part of the top of my mouth. And then I looked up that other one, Kachari. Am I saying that
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Kachari Mudra. I was looking that up and I was like, oh, sticking your tongue in the back. And whenever I did that, I felt that tingling move along the top of my mouth and backwards. And I'm not even sitting here meditating. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's almost like stuff to play with. I know
Hmm.
it's serious, but it's like, I don't feel like you're supposed to be stressed about it. I think you're supposed to
Oh,
have like a childlike mind with it and have fun with it. It's like, oh, what is this? So, okay. Yeah, I got a
yeah.
bunch of stuff going on in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely face yoga.
Yeah, I've
You
got
can
some
look
face
up
yoga going on.
you can look up this
Okay.
website. It's called Advanced Yoga Practices. Um, the author there is a very advanced yogi who has broken down into lessons these various advanced yoga practices like Kechari
Okay.
Mudra, Shambhavi Mudra. And so
Hmm.
he has broken them all down, explains kind of what their purposes are. And then over a period of time, if you follow his protocols, you kind of stack practices. So first you'll engage in just
Great.
basic meditation. Then you maybe will begin to combine it with Kachari Mudra and then combine it with Shambhavi Mudra, and you'll do a certain amount of cycles. I don't engage in that stuff. I like to just rely on the spontaneous inner yoga teacher that's guiding me. But the
Great.
material there, if you're looking for some information, is fantastic to read because he breaks down all of these different things. And you may note that there are some other experiences that you're having that have actually been documented uh,
Oh, cool.
previously. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to
Um,
check that out.
so the website is set up. There's plenty of free content, but then if you would like to go deeper into some of more specific, what he calls lessons, there's a fee of like, don't quote me on it, but about $10 a month to kind of access and read. And there's like a forum there where people kind of speak about it. And Kundalini is a major theme in all of the work there. I haven't explored it too deeply. There's some talks by one of, I guess you could say, the author's associates. Tristan Dorling, I believe. He's on YouTube and whatnot. I've been meaning to get around to also looking more into that and getting him on for an interview. But check it out. I learned some interesting things from that website when I was in a similar place to you, wondering like what the hell is all this face yoga stuff. So I was able to put some pieces together. So check it out. But it sounds like you've got a great attitude, a childlike innocence, feeling safe, playing. This is the way. This is
Just
the way.
playing with it. That's how I am. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, it's nothing bad. I mean, if it was
No.
something bad, I think my head would have blown up by now. So
Yeah.
it's nothing bad. And whenever I get to the end of like each little thing that's gone on over the 30 years since this all started, um, I was in a better place anyway. So I'm like, it's nothing bad. It's always going to be
Mhm.
something good. It may not be
Yeah.
fun at the time, but it's always something good. And then I
Right.
do, I usually before I do meditation, I do like 30 minutes of just some yin yoga. I
Nice.
just like doing the deep stretching, like holding the stretches for about 5 minutes kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's more my speed. So okay,
Nice.
awesome. I'm gonna check this out just to
Yeah.
read. But
Yeah,
thank
check it
you.
out. And maybe in the future at another meeting you can give us some updates and if there's anything interesting you found. I see
Yeah,
here,
definitely.
yeah, Colin is sharing here, eye movements stimulate our vagus nerve, specific movements. So yeah, I think this is kind of also the basis for EMDR, right? So maybe you're kind
Hmm.
of engaging in a similar process spontaneously to the EMDR with the eyes turning sideways,
Hmm.
side to side and whatnot.
Right.
Interesting stuff. Yeah,
Cool. Thank you.
very cool. Thank you.